Welcome to Silly Stories for Kids with me, Sam, a podcast where I make up a story just for you. Do you know what's going to happen in today's story? Me either. There's only one way to find out. Okay, let's go. One day, a little girl named Emily was out in her backyard. Now, she had been looking at the beautiful flowers and admiring all the amazing colours. As she was staring deeply into one of the flowers, all of a sudden she noticed something. What is that? She said to herself. As she looked closer and closer and closer, all of a sudden she realised that in the middle of one of the flowers, she could actually see a tiny little... Is that a fairy? She said to herself. As she looked closer, she could see the fairy was waving. Then, something very strange happened. The fairy started to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until a full-size fairy was standing right in front of Emily. "Hello," said the fairy. Hi," said Emily. Who are you?" "My name's Peach," said the fairy. "Peach the magic fairy. I'm so pleased to meet you." Hi," said Emily. What are you doing here?" "Well," said Peach, "I've actually been waiting for you." "Really?" said Emily. "Really," said Peach. "I knew that you love flowers, so I thought what better place to wait and see than inside the flowers." "Wow," said Emily. "It was amazing how small you could get." "Yes," said Peach, "and we can do a lot more amazing things than that." "What do you mean we?" said Emily. "Well, that's what I've been waiting for. Would you like to come with me to the land of the fairies?" "Really?" said Emily. "Really," said Peach. "I would love to take you there and show you some amazing things." "Okay," said Emily. "I've just got to check with my parents first." So, after checking with her parents, Emily came racing back outside. She had put on her favourite fairy dress as well. Okay, Peach," she said. "I think I'm ready." "You look ready," said Peach. "Well, almost ready. We need to sort out one more thing." "What's that?" said Emily. Peach waved her magic wand, and in no time at all, Emily had beautiful wings. "Look," said Emily. "They're amazing." "Yes, they are," said Peach, "but we must get going very quickly." "Why?" said Emily. "You'll see," said Peach. "Follow me." So Peach went flying off into the air, and Emily followed along behind. As they flew higher and higher, Peach suddenly turned and headed straight back down towards the garden. "Peach, where are we going?" said Emily as she tried hard to follow. "You'll see," said Peach. They were flying directly to what looked like a very large flower. And as they got closer, "I'm shrinking," said Emily. "Yes," said Peach. "You better shrink or else we'll be in trouble." "Why is that?" said Emily. "Keep following," said Peach. As they shrunk and they shrunk, Emily began to realise that that flower was not a normal flower. It was some kind of tunnel, and they flew straight down inside the centre of the flower. They flew through the middle of the tunnel until they popped up in a new location. "Wow," said Emily as she looked around. "This place is beautiful." It was the most colourful, sparkly, amazing, beautiful place that she had ever seen. "Yes," said Peach, "and I think we have made it just in time." "Just in time for what?" said Emily. Just then, another fairy came flying straight over. "Peach, Peach, is she ready? Is she ready?" "I think so," said Peach. Who are you?" said Emily. "Me," said the other fairy. "My name's Nectar. Are you ready to come with me?" "What?" said Emily. "Where are we going?" "Well," said Nectar, "I'm a little bit of a different fairy. See, where Peach is all beautiful and floaty and that sort of thing, I'm a lot more energetic," said Nectar. "Wow," said Emily. "That sounds like fun." "Come on," said Nectar. "Let's go." Nectar was a beautiful blue fairy. Her wings were a lot more sharp and she seemed quite fine. But as Emily watched, she could see that Nectar could do some amazing tricks. As Nectar flew into the air, she started spinning and twirling and twisting and flipping all over the place. "Give it a try," said Nectar. Okay," said Emily. She thought she'd give it a go as well. She tried to spin and flip, but Emily was quite new to flying. She still had a lot to learn, but she tried her best, and in a little bit of practice, she was able to start to spin and flip just like Nectar. "Hooray," said Nectar. "I think you're ready." Ready for what? Said Emily. Come on, said Nectar. As Emily flew along behind Nectar, they started to fly towards some kind of strange-looking flower patch. When they got closer, Emily had a very good look. Nectar, are those flowers alive? Well, all flowers are alive, said Nectar. I mean, are they...
Hello, is this the girl?
Said one of the flowers. Yes, it is, said Nectar. Did that flower just speak? Said Emily.
Of course I spoke. All flowers can speak if you listen carefully.
Really? Said Emily.
Really? Said the flower. But are you the girl?
Maybe? Said Emily. Not maybe, said Nectar. Definitely. Oh, well, definitely I'm the girl, said Emily, still not entirely convinced.
Fantastic, said the flower. Okay, well, I'll get all the other flowers ready.
Ready for what? Said Emily. Nobody's telling me what's going on.
That's because we generally try to keep it as a surprise, but you will know very, very shortly, said the flower.
Okay, said Emily, still feeling a little bit nervous. As she watched, all the flowers in the amazing flower patch started to do some strange things. Are they setting up some kind of obstacle course? Said Emily. They are, said Nectar. That's why we were practicing our flipping and spinning and twirling. Oh, okay, said Emily. Yes, said Nectar. We're going to see if you can be the new record holder for the Flower Patch Obstacle Course. I'll give it my best, said Emily. That's all you can do, said Nectar. All right, see that flower over there that kind of looks like a button? I do, said Emily. Well, what you do is that's where you start from. When you press the button, the timer starts, and you need to get all the way through the flower patch, collect the special seed at the end, and get all the way back out here. Oh, okay, said Emily. I'll give it a go. Are you ready? Said Nectar. Emily slowly flew over to the special button-looking flower. Let's do it, she said. Hooray, said Nectar. All right, ready, set, press that button. Beep! As Emily pressed the button, a beeping noise came out of the flower. It was quite strange, but she knew that she had to go as quickly as she could. She started flying directly towards the amazing flower patch in front of her. It looked very pretty, but then all the flowers started to move. There was leaves flying around the place and petals zooming through the sky. These petals looked like little projectiles that were zooming straight past her. Wow, said Emily, as she dove out of the way, twisting and twirling, trying not to get hit by all the flying petals.
Get her, get her, get her,
yelled all the flowers as they started trying to catch Emily as she was going through. With their stems and their stomas, they did everything they could to try and catch her. But Emily was ready. She had been practicing her flying and she could do new tricks. She tried something new. This time, instead of just a spin and a twirl, she tried to do both spinning, twirling, and tumble rolling at the same time. It was so amazing that the flowers almost paused in disbelief. They watched her flip her way all the way through the flower patch, diving and twisting under petals, over stems, and all the way to the end. She grabbed hold of the seed.
She's got the seed already, said one of the flowers. We need to stop her.
They all turned and they looked at her very flowery, ferociously. It didn't look that scary, but it was almost kind of scary. Emily looked very closely. She was coming up with a plan when all of a sudden Nectar flew in from the side. Hey, Emily, did you know the secret of the seed? What? Said Emily. Have a look. She looked at the seed very carefully and she could see some kind of strange powder all over it. What's this? She said. Put some on your wings, said Nectar. Okay, said Emily. So she wiped some of the powder that was on the seed onto her wings, and when she did, she could feel her wings starting to tingle. Whoa, this is spectacular, said Emily. Now, fly back through those flowers, said Nectar, and set a new record. Okay, said Emily. And with that, she took off. This powder had some kind of super special, super speed magnificence to it. As she started to fly, the flowers could not even get close. She felt like she was almost in slow motion as she moved her way back through the flowers. Everywhere she flew, she could tell which direction the flowers were going to move next. She could tell where any petal was going to be coming from. It was almost like she was dancing an amazing ballet dance with speed and grace right through the middle of the entire flower patch. As she burst out the other side and flew straight towards the button, she pressed it with one finger, holding the seed over her head. Boop, 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 said the button, and Emily looked back at the flowers. They were all completely stunned in amazement, and then they began to cheer. Hooray, 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 yelled all the flowers, and as they cheered, colourful pollen blasted into the air like fireworks. But instead of just being a beautiful set of colours, it exploded into even more colours. It's amazing, said Emily. Yes, it is, said Nectar. I'm so glad that you came. I've never seen someone fly so fast before. Thanks, said Emily. It was so much fun. As they were talking and cheering and celebrating together, Peach flew down to where they were. Well, said Peach, I think it's best time that we got you home. Yeah, said Emily. This has been so much fun, though. Thank you so much, everybody.
You're welcome,
said the flowers. Yeah, said Nectar. You're welcome. I think you're the most amazing fairy that we've ever seen. I love the way you fly. Thanks, said Emily. I've had so much fun. Well, said Peach, we best be off. Come on, let's go. Bye, everybody, called Emily. Bye, they all called. And as Emily and Peach flew back up into the air, Peach had to try and fly her fastest to keep up with Emily. Wow, said Peach, you are so fast. Yeah, said Emily, I think it's that powder from that special seed. Ah, yes, said Peach. It's amazing, isn't it? As they flew back out the special flower and into the air, they zoomed back down towards the back door of Emily's house. Well, said Peach, I hope you've had a fantastic day. Now remember, keep those wings hidden unless no one else is looking. Really, said Emily? I get to keep the wings? Yes, said Peach. And to keep them hidden, if you click your fingers 3 times, they will go invisible. Really? Let me try. And Emily's wings disappeared. That is amazing. Okay, thanks, Peach, said Emily. You're welcome, said Peach. See you later, she said as she flew off back into the sky. As Emily walked back inside, she was so happy. She could almost leap for joy. Her mum was inside waiting. Emily, said her mum. Yes, said Emily. Why are you floating off the ground? Emily looked down and realised she must have been accidentally flying. Well, said Emily, I don't think you'd believe me, even if I told you. And that is the end of the story. This episode is brought to you by Nectar's obstacle courses for amazing fairies that can fly with speed and power and precision. Get yourself into one of Nectar's special obstacle courses to test your flying power. We hope you've been enjoying Silly Stories for Kids. Make sure to share it with every single one of your friends. This has been me, Nectar, and me, Sam. We'll see you soon.